Hello, everybody. It is Coach Jess from FillYourBooks.com coming with you with one of my amazing students, one of my absolute favorite stories I love because one, she started very close to where I was, moved to a new place, very similar to my story. And I just love seeing these like beautiful journeys like come all the way to the end and be able to celebrate some of those wins along the way. So I just want to kick off and kind of ask you to introduce yourself and share with us kind of like a little bit about your story before coming into Fill Your Books.
Sure. So, hello, my name is Arianna. I am from Connecticut originally, and I just moved. Yeah, I just moved 5 months ago to Miami, Florida, specifically Brickell. And I had to start again my clientele from scratch. So, really enjoying that process. And I wanted to start Fill Your Books because I wanted a more proactive approach on how to find potential new clients. And I had been following them for a while before I moved. And I said to myself, okay, when I move, I need to definitely, reach out to them and get some guidance from them and really learn the best techniques rather to jumpstart building my clientele in a faster rate.
Yeah. So I did not know that. How long were you following Fill Your Books for before you moved?
I had been, I guess I've been seeing like the ads, and I had saw them for like I want to say like 6 months before.
Wow.
6 months before, yeah, I decided to look into it more because I kept seeing your ads, and I was like, oh my God, is this exactly what I need? This is exactly what I want, and I feel like there was no program like this ever that existed. And so I just kept looking and eyeing, time by time. And I said, you know what, I'm going to get in touch with them. And because I don't want to keep sitting in the driver's seat or the passenger seat. I want to be in the driver's seat, and I want to take control of, my clientele and my money that I want to make and the life that I want.
So what was that thing for you that finally pushed you over the edge to reach out?
I just was kind of, I started at a commission salon when I first moved. And I feel like what really pushed me over the edge was that I wasn't as busy as I thought I was going to be. And I said, you know what? I don't want to keep living like this anymore. I don't like the way I feel. I want to be busier. It was actually taking a toll on what I enjoyed doing, which was hair and making people feel beautiful and giving them this experience. And I said, you know what? I really need to do something about this. I really want to enjoy the people that I work with, be more selective with the people I work with, and really give them the best service I can possibly give them. And so because of that, I remember having a day I didn't have anybody, and I said, I'm going to reach out to Fill Your Books. And I did finally, and it was a phone call that definitely changed my life. Definitely changed my life, I would say, because I had this goal of wanting to be my own boss and wanting to work for myself, and to be able to be finally almost doing that with the help of this program is just amazing. It was something that I was able to do way before I thought I was going to be able to do it. And I couldn't be more thankful.
So I remember us talking about this, and it was your game plan, your hope was 1 to 2 years. And I remember you saying like 1 to 2 years sooner if possible. And you came on board with us in January of this year. And then what?
Yeah. So I came on board in January, and I was getting right into the program. I was really consistent, and I was on track with everything. I was so excited to learn everything. And the more I kept learning something, the more I was like, okay, I need to learn more. I want to learn more. And and then a couple months later, I decided and signed to have my own salon suite because I was getting super busy. And I just decided that this would be the best move for me to really even double my income at that point and really keep it all and just deliver an even more elevated experience to my clients. So it only took a very short amount of time, which I was super surprised about, also. And I definitely underestimated myself at the beginning when I had the first phone call. But then as time kind of went on, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm definitely ready to definitely start that new journey.
Yeah, it's
So
just for everybody watching. It's April 24th today that we're recording this. And so I think you did that before the wedding, and you just got married, a couple
yes,
weeks ago. And so it was, your third month or so, I would say, with us, maybe less, that you were signing a document to kind of actually do with what you set out to do, which was get into the driver's seat. And that was, I feel like, your moment where you just like, you got out and you went to the other side and you're like, cool, now it's
yes.
we're gonna go. What were some of your big aha moments, or some things that really helped lead you to feel confident in making that decision in 1 to 2 months versus like 1 to 2 years?
So I remember that what was the really aha moment was the amount of, you know, bookings I got and people I met and people that really, they kept like, I kept seeing like a lot of retention with the people that I was finding with this method in this program. And like their friends, and then more people from organic. And it just was kind of like a domino effect. And once I started seeing that, I was like, okay, it's time, for me to really go out and on my own. Cause I was getting busier. And even, when I was right before the wedding, I was getting all these requests, and it was amazing. It was such a great feeling to know even more that the people that I, met and serviced through this program, they were so happy with the results I gave them. And it was just, that at the end of the day makes my heart like soar. And to think that I touched so many people in so many different ways and made them happier, and that set in. And I think, yeah, that just to keep hearing that also and seeing, like I said, the rebookings, I said, this is the time. That was the really big moment.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, because you give an amazing service and you're incredibly talented, but know, it's not every day that we move to a new place where we don't really know anybody else to be able to network within that network. And it's really establishing that initial network that's like very challenging. And from there, it's like, okay, we can start to build off of something. We have something to push off from, but sometimes it's just the lack of tools. And I feel like as I've watched you come through this, you were very good with your mindset in terms of like, okay, I'm here to learn how to use these tools, and then I'll really be able to make these
Right.
work best for me. And I feel like this transition that you've made and that you're making is even going to allow you to build something that you want to see for yourself, instead of just like building into somebody else's box and trying to fit in. Like, now you can really leverage these tools to their max potential, because you have everything else behind you to support it, like your work, the way that you make people feel. And so like now you're actually able to do people a service by being discoverable and allowing them the opportunity to know that you exist down there in Florida. You're like no longer in Connecticut. And that's an
Right.
amazing thing. It must feel amazing.
Yeah, it does. It does. And it's, there were moments like also where I was like, oh my God, I'm meeting so many people. Like I never would really, I would never really think that that would happen so quickly. I would never, but so I was so shocked. Like, it's one thing to say, you're gonna get all these requests and really, but when it actually happens, you're like, oh my God, this is real and this is actually happening, and it's just so much different. I don't know how to explain.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. I'm so happy,
Oh,
super
good.
happy about that.
I'm so glad. So now let's think about what the next year, I mean, what do you kind of envision happening for you over this next year?
So for this next year, I envision, still utilizing these skills in this program to meet even more clients, having the suite, bringing them into this beautiful space. And yeah, I plan on, definitely, um, trying to think. Just I have a lot of ideas. I want to start, really. I already specialize in, color and, hair cutting and all of that. But I definitely want to really get into like more extension work because that's really big down here. And I'm just so thrilled to have even like some people that, are even interested in those kinds of services. A lot of that down here in Miami. So I hope to really become more of a specialist in extensions and like getting a even bigger clientele and really seeing like, $1,000 to $3,000 days like during this next year. That's what this year actually is what I'm looking for to see. Looking forward to it.
So it's, January would be 1 year. I'm like excited to see what happens through the rest of the year. If you are able to, which I know you're able to, but like when you become an extension specialist, when you're able to hit the amount of money that you want to make, because now it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of like when, right? You've got the confidence that you can absolutely do that. And so for you, if you saw anybody watching your video or listening into your video and they're like, oh, like I'm thinking about moving and like, I want to, change over to a specific service that I want to specialize in and I want to grow from scratch or whatever it is, and they can really relate to you. What would be something that you wish you would have heard or that somebody could have said to you to help you feel a little bit like better about moving forward? Or is there any piece of advice or any words of wisdom that you would like to share being kind of on the other side of this now?
Honestly, I feel like if you're motivated and you have the mentality like I want this goal and I want to get there and what are the steps that I need to take to get there, you could do anything you set your mind to. And I think like you should not wait. You should start now and really start thinking about like if you want to take that move, if you want to be your own boss, if you want to learn a new skill, you should absolutely start now, because the more you know, the better off you're going to be in a short time from now and even the long term from now. So definitely don't feel like, oh, I have to wait, or no, start now. If you are motivated, you should really, you have the drive, the passion and the love for it, there's no better time to start than now. So
if I could take anything away from what I've seen is like, it's your persevering attitude. I feel like you had so many things that you're juggling and you just decided that you were just going to keep going and you were going to figure it out, and you did. Like, yeah, through it, and you learned to work through that storm, even if it wasn't like, even if it was messy, you got there, right?
Yeah, and definitely.
Now I feel like you're even better prepared for going forward, but it was that persevering mentality and attitude that I feel like if I were to capture something, it was like that about you. You just kept going.
Thank you.
You were so open to feedback and you asked all of the questions, and you really leaned on support when you needed it. And I think that really helped you get to this point. And so I'm so excited to see where you take it from here. And if you guys are watching this and you're interested in Fill Your Books, we would obviously love to meet you. So all you would have to do is head over to FillYourBooks.com, just learn more about it. Watch some testimonials like this one, fill out an application and just ask the questions, get connected with one of our onboarding courses, like onboarding coordinators like Arianna did, and just see if this is something that does make sense for you. Because at the end of the day, we just want to help people that this would help, and help you guys get to your goals and help you through and learn these new skills and be able to use these new tools so that you guys can really build whatever it is that you want to put your mind to, like Arianna said. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us and for,
anytime,
being an amazing student. I've loved watching your journey. And this will not be probably the last time. Hopefully we'll hear an update from Arianna in like a year from now. That would be like even cooler for me to see. But yeah, in the meantime, if you guys have any questions, go to the website and we'll see you on the other side.
Yay.